Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. We're here at Pitch Night in New York City to check out PresenTense New York City Fellowship. Let's take a closer look. So tell us a little bit about the fellowship.
The fellowship is a 5-month-long training program. We call it basically an entrepreneur accelerator, where an individual comes in with an idea and we teach them through 3 different phases, 6 different modules that will help them take that idea and turn it into the prototype of a sustainable venture.
And innovation is sometimes difficult to bring to the forefront. Talk a little bit about the process.
The process of the fellowship. So we start them by exploring big. We take them through the inspiration phase in which they really challenge themselves to think big about what is the larger vision that they would like to achieve through their venture. Then we take them through a convergence phase in which they put together an operations plan, and then at the end we teach them how to prototype and assess so that they can effectively determine whether or not this is the venture or the methodology to implement that venture into the community.
And this is like the first New York hub for PresenTense.
Yes, this is the first year. We're launching our fellowship in January. It will be wrapping up in May. But it's running in contingency with 6 other fellowships around the world. We're currently in Boston, Philadelphia, Cleveland, as well as Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
And where can people learn more about the fellowship?
If you want to learn more about the New York City Fellowship, it's nycfellowship.com. For more about the various other PresenTense fellowships, it's presentense.org/CEP, which stands for Community Entrepreneur Partnership.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks.
My name is Elke Rivas-Sudin. I'm an artist, illustrator, graphic designer, art director for PresenTense magazine. There's a big problem in the art world, in the Jewish world, that there's this huge disconnect between contemporary Jewish art from people versus the museum sort of world. The museums are interested in art from the 19th century or Chagall, and a lot of Jews think that Jewish art is dancing rabbis. So my venture is Student Magazine, where we bring together contemporary Jewish artists and designers from around the world in one place, so that wherever you're from, that you can connect to these artists, you can find out more about art. There's not a lot of art education in the Jewish world. We're really bringing that out. Bringing Judaism to art, that there's a lot that Judaism has to bring to art, and bringing art to the Jewish world as this venue to make it more accessible.
Around a magazine, online, offline, how do they interact around it? Any thoughts in that direction?
We work in 3 parts. One is the magazine, which is an annual anthology, so it's a book that brings everyone together, that helps create the community. Online, having an updated resource of a calendar from events, calls for submissions, one place to find all the Jewish film festivals to submit to, and that helps build the community across the board. You can translate between different languages and makes it easy. And then third part is events, curating events and bringing the artists together who are in the book into shows, so that the book will end up turning into a catalog for our shows as it develops and gains more momentum.
Kleiman. I'm a documentary film producer, and one of the problems I feel that's facing the Jewish community today is with younger people struggling with just how to express their Jewish identity in the first place. I way too often hear the phrase from people, "Oh, I'm a bad Jew." And you never ever hear someone say like, "Oh, I'm a bad Chinese person, I'm a bad African American." People say that younger Jews say that is because they're either not religiously observant, or maybe they're not knowledgeable enough, and therefore they just automatically relinquish their right to even have any kind of meaningful Jewish identity. And I think that's what's facing the Jewish community today. Not intermarriage, not assimilation. We're changing and evolving just as we always have, and we more have to meet the needs of people to explore their identities. So I've been producing a documentary series called Punk Jews, and it is about it showcases Jewish artists, musicians, and activists expressing Jewish culture in unique and unconventional ways that challenge stereotypes and break down barriers. It's a documentary series primarily, but also an interactive website, and we also put on events to bring inclusiveness and community of these people who are just looking for anything for something.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Aaron Herman. I'm a fundraising multimedia consultant, and I'm helping launch an organization called Jtouch. Jtouch's mission is to enhance Jewish education. There's a critical problem in schools around the country. They can't get their kids to connect. How many people here own an iPad, iTouch, or iPod? Raise your hand. Wonderful. So the idea is to bring in technology into the classroom. So as you can see here, this is the M-Torah. The M-Torah is a really concept where it's an interactive Torah. So you can click on different pasukim, tweet it, Facebook, learn Trup, do a lot of different things. So we're going to tell teachers, you know what? Bring in your tech into the classroom. Smart boards cost around 15 grand. Now, how much does an iPad cost? $4.99? We want to give every kid an iPad. So now you're going to enhance your education through these types of applications. And that's what we're going to do.
Wow. Awesome. Stick around. Questions for Aaron?
Any questions? Sure.
Do you anticipate any negative consequences of giving kids iPads and kind of condoning and fomenting this generation of technology attached?
So, you know, we're living in a time when technology is all around us. And in the end of the day, everyone has gadgets. And, you know, will people might go on the internet in class? Possibly. But if you create the right applications that it's fun and interactive, they're going to be engaged. So when someone goes up and says, okay, everyone open up your Navi. You now have your Navi or your Gemara. If you're in Hebrew school, I was always the creative teacher, and I still wasn't able to connect I mean, I was able to, but I did something, whatever. Anyway, but the idea is to make learning fun. This is great for educators, students, and really any person that's interested in learning about their Judaism through interactive technologies.
Rabbinical students even don't talk about. And for Christian spirituality, it's been a tremendous importance being able to have a spiritual talk. And with Mishpacha, we were able to foster those talks. We did this for the unaffiliated. I think the next step, which we didn't have the funding for then, is to bring this to synagogues, where you have a community, but you still don't have the intimate discussions.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Gil Student. I'm an editor at a nonprofit Jewish publishing house, which you'll understand why that's important in a minute. The problem I'm addressing now is actually not a problem at all. There's a groundswell of young Jewish idealistic people interested in social action like yourselves, and who are very passionate about their social action changing the world, but are not necessarily trained in Jewish education and don't necessarily have the background to substantiate their social action with Torah. And my idea is to bring Judaism from the scholars, create a bridge to the social action leaders. And I have a group of trained scholars who are experienced writers and experienced college campus educators who are very interested in creating targeted social action Torah content on a weekly basis that we can bring directly to the social action leaders, clearly marked on what topics, a variety of topics that interest everybody non-denominational, talking about volunteerism, poverty, hunger, every issue you can think of, equality, saving the world, anything and saving the Jewish community. And on an ongoing basis, very quickly, we have a way of creating a searchable, indexed online database that anyone can access. But most importantly, we'll be bringing timely, straight from the torn from the headlines directly to people, so they can talk about the Shabbos table and in their speeches and their newsletters, incorporate our content in it to help them, empower them to become better social action leaders.
Thank you.
Any questions?
It's sometimes difficult to bring new ideas to the forefront. PresenTense Fellowship New York will help young innovators bring their visions to life. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.